Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and I am the founder and owner of the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. So excited for you guys that are going to be joining me tonight. Today has been a fantastic day, and I am looking forward to having some fun. Those of you that are joining the stream live, please say hello. We've got Haydar Malik. Hey, Haydar, thank you so much for being here. Guys, don't be shy. If you're joining live, say something in the chat. This is going to be a fun one. As you can see from the title of this chat, I am excited. Roughly 3 weeks, going on a month ago, I was on the Cowboys of Crypto, and we had a friendly little bet. In fact, let me share that screen here in a second. Hey, Mike Thomas, how you doing, man? In fact, I think Mike, if I'm not incorrect, I think you found this channel through Cowboys of Crypto, so you probably saw that stream. Hey, Biomex, welcome to the channel, man. For those of you that are joining us, please hit that like button. Let's get this rolling out to as many people as we can. And while you guys, hey, awesome, Mike, glad to hear that. Biomex, where did you find me? Through Cowboys of Crypto, around the blockchain? Just been with the channel for a while. While you guys are saying hello and we're letting a few more people come on, it looks like there's 7 people on right now. Don't be shy, folks. Say hello. And while you're doing that, I'm going to share my screen real quick. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, when you looked at the thumbnail and saw that I don't have to eat I don't have to eat a cricket, this is what I am talking about, folks. Cowboys of Crypto. For those of you that don't know Aaron and the Cowboys of Crypto, this is an amazing YouTube channel. Aaron is a fantastic guy. I really like him. I have a lot of respect for his knowledge in the field. He puts out a ton of fantastic content. But if we go to the video section here and scroll back about 3 weeks ago, right here, eating crickets because we were wrong about Bitcoin. This video was done about 3 weeks ago or so, closing in on a month ago.
What's going on now?
And long story short, those of us that were on here made a bet. So in the previous video, this gentleman here, and then you can't really see him here, but there was a couple of guys that had to eat crickets. And then during this live stream, the 4 of us, let me see if I can get it to the 4 of us. Okay, so here we go. So here's the 4 of us. We got, I don't know why that's saying Ethan. It's Sarong from Bandits, Crypto Bandits, and then Aaron, and then myself, and then Average Joe Crypto. The 4 of us predicted the price of Bitcoin on the 11th of August, and I won. So my guess was 25,000. The rules of the challenge were that in order to win the challenge, you actually had to come in within $1,000 of the price of Bitcoin the day of. So basically, we are now about 2 hours, about 22 hours before the live stream is going to happen tomorrow night. Depending on where you're at in the world, maybe it's tonight for you. And then, we go over here to CoinGecko. I was praying, so I guess 25,000. And if none of us had been within 1,000, then all 4 of us were going to have to eat a cricket. And I'll tell you guys, like, I'm not really, like, I wasn't scared of having to eat a cricket, but just going through all of the rigmarole of going and finding a cricket and having to buy it at the pet store and all of that stuff, I was not looking forward to it. But look at this, baby. 24,493. I would love for that to touch up, touch closer to 25,000 before the live stream. But at this point, I am the clear winner. Everybody else guessed way below 20,000. I want to see the guesses were between about 14 and 17,000. And anyways, man, I am excited to not have to eat any crickets tomorrow. What else do we got going on here in the chat? Biomex says, call Quan around the blockchain a couple of times. Pretty great. Big part of Danger Close for how far in the best beat cryptos group for real world NFTs. Oh, okay, cool, man. Hello, Paul. How you doing, man? One of my favorite community members. Been with us, been with me since the very beginning. Hey, Vincent. I love Around the Blockchain. It's, I really enjoy being on that show. I think that Ben and BitBoy Crypto have done some amazing things for people. I know that he's helped me make a ton of money over the years. So fantastic. I love the fact that you guys found us. Hey, we got Deanna Varnell. That's my beautiful wife. Thank you, my love. I love it. She always comes onto the channel, kind of helps me check out the chat, make sure that I don't miss anything. Yeah, so folks, if you haven't already, hit that like button. You probably are all subscribed, but if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscription button and help us get up to the next level. I think we're at about a little over 3,200 subscribers. So, 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers is kind of coming next. And with that, folks, let me also share something. I don't know if I talked about it in the description of this video, but I wanted to let you guys know that this channel is known for doing a lot of giveaways, especially when things were good during the bull market. I was doing a ton of giveaways. And then, in these tougher times, it's been a little bit harder to do as exciting of giveaways as I was in the past. But as you can see right here, J Crypto Minded, I want Whitley. Crypto Minded, this Crypto Minded here, I want Whitley. So if you go back to yesterday's video on my channel for myself, and he was titled Turning 10K into 100K. It kind of describes a bankroll challenge that I'm doing, and I am going to give away a $100 worth of Whitley private sale tokens. So, looks like something just happened to my light there. Why my computer go dim? I think my dog unplugged my computer, guys. Give me a second here. Valkyrie. Killing me, dog. Yep. Computer unplugged and ready to chew on my power cord. I just had to replace a $65 power cord a few weeks ago because she chewed it up, and it looks like she was getting ready to do it again. So here you can see here in this comment section, like, subscribe, and comment. I want Whitley to be entered to win $100 in Whitley private sale tokens. So let me run over here and show you guys Whitley.io if you haven't seen it. This is a private sale that I was actually able to bring to my community back in March, I want to say, when, the market hadn't decided to take this crazy dump all the way down to, this $20,000 range. And we thought it was actually going to launch in April to a really nice market. And then, as we all know, everything went crazy. But this is a project that I'm excited about. I actually was able to bring, about $150,000 allocation to my community. So friends, family, folks, from the YouTube community here were able to buy into the private sale. So this is Whitley.io here. Fastest way to find great virtual real estate opportunity. Browse, buy, and rent the hottest virtual real estate NFTs in the metaverse. So as you know, if you want to buy, Decentraland or Sandbox, or Network, so many of these different projects, you actually have to go and do it kind of through, their metaverse. So I think that saying that Whitley.io is going to be, kind of the open sea of metaverse, buying is probably not doing its service. I think it's going to be much bigger and much better. And plus, I don't really, there's a lot of things about OpenSea that I don't like. I just mentioned them because they are one of the more, popular NFT platforms. But if you check out this website, Like Manhattan in the early 1900s, we're experiencing a virtual land grab in the metaverse. While the world continues to realize the power and potential of blockchain NFTs, the early movers are raking in millions trading virtual real estate NFTs in various projects. Talks about the challenge here and the solution. And I just wanted to bring this up, folks. If you're on tonight's live stream, at some point in time, make sure you head over to yesterday's video and like that and comment "I want Whitley" on there. And then what I will do is I'll let that video marinate for a few days, maybe a week, and then I'll go to a random comment picker and I will pick a comment from that video, and the person that is the winner is going to get $100 worth of the Whitley private sale tokens when it launches, which is hopefully going to happen sometime in Q3. They've got great tokenomics. It's going to launch, I want to say, to about an $800,000 market cap. And I think it's going to do pretty well. So those of you, whoever wins this $100 in Whitley should hopefully make a few dollars. Thank you, P. Vincent. I appreciate you guys giving my wife the love. What do we got here? Anybody else join the channel while I was talking about Whitley? Folks, I know that a few of you probably have some suggestions, some questions. Feel free to pop into the chat here and pick my brain if there's anything that you're thinking about. Is there anybody here that's got a token that they would like me to pull up on CoinGecko and take a look at a token? Anything like that I can do before I get into the market update? I'd love to, go over maybe a couple of small cap gems, see if there's yeah, absolutely, Paul. I know what you mean. And there's definitely some possibility that a little bit of Whitley might end up, becoming available too. So probably won't be a whole lot, but there might be an opportunity for a few people to sneak in and get a few dollars worth of Whitley before it launches. Jay, I know that you got some of the private sale, and like me, you are excited and waiting for it to launch too. And yeah, man, I think it's going to go well. What is my biggest holding? That's a good question. Recently, my top 3 holdings were Nexo, Ethereum. Oh, what were the other 2? I want to say Polkadot. And the 4th one wasn't as big of a name token. You wouldn't necessarily recognize it. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Over the last couple of months, I've kind of redistributed and done a lot. But, I had a lot of money in Nexo. And really enjoyed the loan feature, being able to borrow against my collateral. I also was getting some pretty good interest on a handful of tokens. But recently with the Voyager debacle, Celsius, I've been moving everything off, even though I think Nexo, you don't quote me on this, it's not financial advice. I think the Nexo platform is safe. I think that they're very under collateralized. I think that they're going to make it through this bear market, and potentially because they're the biggest one that makes it through this bear market while Voyager and Celsius are going under, they could really come out on top in the long run. I still own a pretty good chunk of Nexo tokens, but I don't have them necessarily in Nexo right now. But, I really like Nexo, even though I'm trying to hold my tokens off of Nexo. But I like Nexo. I like Ethereum. Polkadot, Chainlink is another one of my favorites. Matic, ADA, Cardano, Solana, Avalanche. I own a good chunk of those top 25s. I also have a ton of private sale tokens. If you're new to the channel, Mike, you've probably never heard me talk about the Gains tokens. But if you go back and look at some of my other live streams, there is a token called Gains that I really love. Let's run over here to CoinGecko and I'll show it to you. Gains is a VC venture capitalist company that created a token, and by owning a minimum of 10,000 of their tokens, you can get in on the private sales that they bring their community. So this Gains token here at about 20 cents, so it costs a little under $2,000 right now for 10,000 of them. But if we go over, let me pop in pop in their website. Let me click on this again real fast. But if you go back to the gains history, its all-time high was closing in on, a couple of dollars during the ICO mania of last year. And then it didn't rebound quite that high after the June, July, drop, May, June, July drop, but it did rebound back up well over $1. Its all-time low last July was about 7 cents. When I talked about this token about a month and a half, 2 months ago, it was sitting at about 8 or 9 cents again, and it's so far it has doubled. But I am kind of a private sale guy. I've probably invested into about 100 different private sales. Let me see if I got this here to pull up. Yeah, one of the things that I'm gonna show you guys that I really love about this the Gains token and the Gains platform here. Let me copy this here and then paste it in this window so I don't have to try to exit out of everything. And this, I just realized Aaron on Cowboys of Crypto has talked about gains a lot. In fact, he actually interviewed Alex Raffian from Gains. Well, originally, Aaron learned about the Gains token from me. I was on one of his live streams. We were discussing we were discussing some small cap gems. Like even right now, its market cap is only 6.6 million. And we were discussing Gains. He went and checked it out. He bought it. I believe he's at the 30,000 Gains level. So if we scroll down here, it'll get to the different tiers. Here we go. So 10,000 Gains is the Fish's tier 4. Aaron is in the Dolphins tier 3, and then you've got 100,000 and 200,000 Gains for tier 2 and tier 1. So that is another, so a lot of my bankroll and a lot of my portfolio is tied up in a lot of different private sales, most of which I'm kind of forced at this point to hold because they're way down, and a lot of them have vesting where they're still getting released to me, but they're down 80, 90, 95% from their all-time high. But I think many of them will make great comebacks during the next bull run. So hopefully that kind of answered your question a little bit. What do we got going on here? 0 to 1 million. I like that title. Modify and sell frame look very good. Low cap gems, very good utility, worth a look. Let's go ahead and take a real quick peek at them here. Let's go share my screen and run back over to CoinGecko again here and take a peek at those. Modify and sell frames. So let's see here. We'll hit share, go to CoinGecko. Hey, Mike, I'll respond to your comment here in more detail, but you said buy Celsius, laugh out loud. And, I've been kind of silly enough to make moves like that because I'm always the guy that says, you know what, while it's beaten down to almost nothing, if it makes a comeback, you could potentially get rich off of, a small amount of money. Like I put a little bit of money into Luna back when it was down into the, fractions of a cent. Obviously that didn't do me any good, but I felt like it was worth the gamble. I think that I think we'd all agree that trying to buy some Celsius, hoping they come back, is probably a big waste of money though. So here we go. Modify, ticker MOD. Looks like it's sitting at about 28 cents. Had a little bit of a pump with all of the other markets. It looks like it's on the Ethereum network, Phantom, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain. So I like the fact that it's on all of those different networks. What do we got here? Wow, its all-time high was over $6. It's down 95%. Looks like a couple of months ago, it was down as low as 20 cents. So it's still pretty close to its all-time low. And I like the fact that it's got a big what is that, from a quarter to $6 is roughly 24x, just under, but about a 20 plus x to get back to its all-time high. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I will definitely take a closer look at it. What do we got over here over, let's say, like the 30-day chart? kind of been all over the place a little bit, but it looks like it's kind of stabilized here, a little bit of ups and downs. So interesting. Modify. I will definitely, in fact, I'm going to, excuse me for a second. I want to write a couple of these down so that I don't forget about them. Although I guess I can always go back to the chat. And then what was the other one? Sell frame, I believe you said. Let's type that in. What was it? Sell frame, ticker sell, ranked 851. Folks, while I'm doing this, I can't see the chat. So if you're talking to me, don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm just focused on this page. I'll click back to where I can see the chat in a moment. But in order to scroll along the page and to look at this stuff, I'm actually not seeing the chat right this second. So it's at about 45 cents. Once again, so its all-time high was 721, down 93%. Same thing about 2 months ago was its all-time low at about 18 cents. So it has, rebounded, done a little over a 2.5x from its low. This one rings a bell. I'm trying to remember where I heard about this before. I don't own any of either one of those, but I will definitely take a closer look. Thank you so much for bringing those to my attention. How did you hear about the channel 0 to 1 mil? Did you hear about it through Aaron, or did you hear about it through Around the Blockchain? How did you find me? Biomax, I want Whitley. Hey, that's great, but you got to go to yesterday's video, the 10K to 100K bankroll challenge video that I did yesterday, and comment that in the comment section of that video. Jay, here we go. The Tan Arena, Theta Arena. Does that have anything to do with Theta and Theta Phil, Jay? Let me go back here and take a peek at it, see if I can pull it up on the on CoinGecko. So Theta Arena, he said. So THG. So it doesn't look like it's probably got anything to do with Theta. It's just kind of got a name that reminds me a little bit of it, sitting at about 10 cents. Not even ranked at this time. That's interesting. Wow. All-time high, $21, folks. Interesting. This sucker's got a 200x in it just to get back to its all-time high. That is pretty unbelievable. I definitely had some tokens like this. I have some tokens like this one during the last bear run. As some of you know, I got started right at the end of the 17 bull run, and then got my butt kicked in 18 and 19 and most of 20. But the one thing that I was able to do right was hold everything through. I was investing money that I didn't need for my life. I never sold almost anything. If I did sell something, it was just to invest it in another token. I never sold anything, to use for life until about the last year. I quit my job towards the middle to end of 2019, and then lived off some crypto for that next year until it took off again. So I did spend a little crypto during that time frame, but for the most part, I held everything, and I had a lot of tokens that were down 90, 95, even 99% that came back and made me a bunch of money. So that sounds very interesting. Jay, for those of you that are newer to the channel, Jay has been with the channel since almost day one. Super, super knowledgeable. We have an amazing Telegram. So if you're not in the Telegram, feel free to join that. I'll throw the link here in the chat. If you want to go join the Telegram channel at some point in time, we would love to have you. And, Jay is in there all the time, dropping his knowledge, answering questions. We've got a very, very helpful community. We don't allow any scam links or any, promotion. It's just about helping each other, create financial freedom. It looks like I missed all sorts of chat. Let me see what I got going on here. Get back down here. Celsius, Modify. So let's go back to see what Modify is. An Oracle aggregator and very well could be the next chain link. Oracles are very few and far between, and Link doesn't have much competition yet. I agree. There is some room for some other oracles. I love Chainlink and I've got a good bag of it. I continue to accumulate it, but I'm always open to other oracles. Cellframe is a quantum computer low cap. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What do we got here? May 8, 2021 was when I first got in. So I don't have any gains from the 2017 folks. Would you invest as heavily into Bitcoin when creating your portfolio for gains? So, once again, this is, like you said, this is not financial advice. Everybody's got their own opinion. There's a lot of people out there. I talked to a guy today that said, when I was talking to him about altcoins, he said, there's basically one token that I know is going to be around for the long term, and that's Bitcoin. Everything else is iffy. And while I don't totally agree with him on that, I do understand his point, but I don't see, most people aren't going to get rich off of just investing in Bitcoin, unless you're starting with a nice big chunk of money already. Like if you've got a $500,000 lying around and you've got 5 or 10 years and you just want to turn that $500,000 into, 5, maybe 10 million, then Bitcoin is a great spot for your money. I think that Bitcoin could end up being a $1 million token over the next decade or so. Probably 250,000 plus over the next 5 years. So, you're going to make, it's at 20 grand, 30 grand. You're going to make some X's on Bitcoin, down at these prices. It's not a bad investment at all. But I like to gamble a little bit more. I like to try to take, $500, $1,000 and, hit some of those 50, 100, 1,000 X's. I was able to invest about $1,000 into several different tokens. DAG, Constellation, is one of them. I was able to get into it at under a penny. I think it was about 0.3 of a cent, 2.5 of a cent. Was able to ride it all the way up into the 30 to 40 cent range. I believe $1,000 turned into 136,000. And so, part of the goal of this channel is to help the everyday hardworking single mom families where there's, two parents that are raising kids and both of them are working 50, 60 hours a week and they don't get to spend any time with their kids. I want to give everybody a chance to try to take a smaller amount of money and create life-changing money with it. So in my opinion, I would put some money into Bitcoin, but I wouldn't only invest in Bitcoin. I would definitely be looking at some Polkadot and Chainlink, some stuff in the top 25 to 50. And then once I had a nice base, I would be looking and branching out. Not necessarily, I'm not giving this Modify token my sign of approval yet, but I would branch out into some of these tokens that have the potential during a good bear run to 100 or even 500 or 1,000, X your money. Hopefully that kind of answers your question. P. Vincent, I thank you so much for being here. And I do appreciate all of you that, are in the chat and that are sharing some stuff. Back to, Engine Starter. I love Engine Starter, although it's been a horrible investment for me. So I actually got involved in a pool group. I think I have about 80,000 of the Engine Starter tokens. I started buying it at 12 or 13 cents and kind of rode it all the way down. I think the last time I bought was at about 4 cents. I believe right now it's well under a penny. It's a fraction of a cent. So I think I've got about maybe $3,000 worth of it that's worth, I don't know, $100 or something right now. So it has not been a good investment, but that's not necessarily Engine Starter's fault. I was buying it thinking that we were going to continue on in a bull run, thinking that we were going to hit $100,000, $150,000 Bitcoin, and that just didn't happen. But I'm not selling it. I'm holding it and will have it and will be using the Launchpad during the next bull run. Any thoughts on carbon assets? I have not heard of carbon assets. Let's see what we got here is if it's on CoinGecko. Which carbon is it? Is it Carbon Protocol? Just this carbon? Let me know in the chat which carbon you are referring to, please. And I will take a closer look at it. Beam Swap. Yeah, I mean, Beam Swap is definitely one of my favorites, Jay, and I think 100X is probably selling it short. this thing really could literally be a 10,000x. And I don't say that lightly, folks, but go take a look at BeamSwap. It is built on top of the Moonbeam network. Moonbeam won a parachain slot on the Polkadot, network, and Moonbeam is going to be another Solana. It's going to be another Avalanche. It's going to be another Matic, in my opinion. And BeamSwap is the number one DEX on the Moonbeam network. They have a launch pad. They've got a lot of amazing things going, and their market cap, the last time I checked, was about $500,000. So, if you take one of these launch pads, or one of these like a Uniswap or a Pancake Swap, Trader Joe's, Radium, some of those dexes that are the top dexes of these other platforms, and do a little math. Like, I think during the bull market, I would say that a $5 billion market cap was pretty reasonable for a lot of a few of those launch pads. So let's go here real quick. If we go to $5 billion divided by 500,000, that's a 10,000x, folks. I don't know if you can see that the way I got my camera set, but that's a 10,000x. Take 10,000 and multiply it by 1,000. It's $10 million, folks. Now, I'm not here to say that BeamSwap is going to turn 1,000 into 10 million, but if I had to pick one token on the market right now to put $1,000 into, with the possibility, the highest probability that it might turn into 10 million over the next handful of years, BeamSwap would be the token that I would throw my $1,000 at. That much is for sure. And I practice what I preach. I've got well over 1 million BeamSwap tokens. Continuing to buy them. And so that's definitely another small cap gem that I love. How old am I? I just turned 49 on July 30th. I was born on July 30th in 1973. So I'm kind of an old guy for crypto. I've been searching for financial freedom my whole life. I've never been a guy that wanted to work for somebody else. So I've done a lot of different things over the years, different businesses, different jobs, just different things, different avenues that I tried to create financial freedom in my life. And crypto was what finally got me over the top, allowed me to retire myself back in 2019. My wife quit her job in 2020. And it's been amazing. We've had an amazing 3 years. Now, I'm not going to lie. Right now, things are not as fun as they were over the last couple of years. Things are a little bit tighter. I'm having to watch my pennies a little bit more than I was. As my crypto portfolio has shrunk, it's not as easy to just go splurge on some of the fun big meals and trips and the different things that we were doing. But I am excited. Part of what I'm doing right now in this downtime is creating a 8-figure portfolio. I very much believe I'll be in a position during the 2024-2025 bull run. In my opinion, I think that's when we're really going to see new all-time highs, is probably mid-2024 going into 2025. By then, I plan on having a $10 million plus crypto portfolio. Nothing to do with Theta. It is a gaming crypto. Okay. Let me see here. Back to how old do you think he is? My wife says. I didn't see that. So that's funny. I don't know if he guessed or not, I'll have to continue down the chat. I came across YouTube on my research, just looking for gems in the bear market. Awesome, Mal. I'm so glad that you found it. How did I meet Ben? That's a fantastic question. So, I've been watching Ben for a long time, and then I went to Bitcoin 2022, and I did my absolute best to actually meet Ben in person, and we just kept missing each other. I never got an opportunity to actually walk up and shake his hand, but I did do an interview with Crypto Stash. And I made good friends with the guys at Sin City Crypto here in Las Vegas, who you probably recognize from their channel. And so through some of those avenues, I got introduced, and then they took a little bit of a look at my content and do whatever they did, and I let them know that I wanted to be on Around the Blockchain. They originally kind of gave me an invitation at the last second when somebody had canceled. And I jumped in and did, hopefully what I think was a good job, and they liked me. And so they've continued to invite me back. But I still haven't technically met Ben in person and been able to shake his hand. And I'm looking forward to getting to know him better as time goes by. Hey, Moby Sage. Hey, Brad. Love hearing your takes on around the blockchain. I just really enjoy how clear and honest your takes are and how you come across. I wish great things for you. Thank you so much, Moby. That means a lot to me, folks. I love this YouTube channel and I love you guys, and I'm here to pay it forward. So I know there's a lot of new folks on the channel here, a lot of new folks watching this. So if you go back to some of my beginning videos, I tell my story a little bit more, and I'll just go real quickly. But my mentor, a good friend of mine, a guy that I had known and done different businesses with, tried his best to get me into crypto in 2017. He was investing into Ethereum at $9. He got into Ant shares, which is now NEO, at around 25 cents. And I didn't get in crypto in 2017 until the very, very end, towards the top of the bull run. But I watched my mentor turn $9,500 into $2.2 million by January of 2018. And I just jumped in full force. And God bless him. He held me by the hand and he helped me, create this financial freedom. But one of the things that both of us had in common was the other businesses that we were in were all about helping, other people. So this dream of mine of helping thousands of people create financial freedom in my life was born way back as a teenager in my early 20s. I wanted to help people get away from the 40-40-40 plan. It's where you work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life, and to try to live off of 40% of what you weren't making it on already. People that, are only going on vacation once every 4 or 5 or 10 years. The folks that got to miss the baseball games and their sons' practices and their daughters' dance class and all of that kind of stuff because they're always working. I wanted to help those people. And my mentor unfortunately passed away at 57 years old, unexpectedly, from natural causes. And right before the next bull run in 2021, he passed away. I want to say it was in November of 2020, just right before the huge peak where he would probably have that $10 million, $15-20 million portfolio had he still been alive. And so I created this YouTube channel in July of 2021 because I wanted to pay this forward. And I see cryptocurrency as a way that the average person, the average hardworking guy, whether you're making $10 an hour or $50 an hour, you can make and sacrifice and figure out a way to get some money into crypto and change your wealth needle exponentially over the next few years. So thank you so much, Moby. I appreciate that because, man, I love you guys, and I'm glad that my authenticity comes through in my videos, and that you guys feel this way about me when you see me. It lets me know that I'm doing the right things and that I'm headed in the right direction. So thank you for that comment. What Sage said, hey, another one. Seriously, guys, you guys are going to bring tears to my eyes, man. I really do appreciate you guys being on here and saying these nice things about me and thinking like that about me. I do really, really appreciate it. Let me see here. Man, I would be visiting you if Beam swapped 10,000x. I tell you what, man. I look forward. One of my plans for this channel as it grows, we hit the next bull market, is I want to have some full-on retreats, man. I want to see 20 or 50 or 100 or 2 of us that have become friends through this community, go to some tropical destinations and rent out resorts and have an amazing time, Jay. And I hope that you're there with us, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I finally caught up with the chat. Finally caught up with the beam swap party. Here come the waterworks. Yeah, my babe knows what a softie I am, man. I tell you, I get emotional during movies, man. I'm the guy that's staring at the screen during Rocky 2 going, "Get up, man, get up." I've seen it 100 times, 200 maybe. I know he's getting up. I know he's going to beat the bell by a split second and he's going to beat Apollo. But every time I watch that scene, man, tears start coming down my eyes. And it's because I'm dreaming about winning. I'm dreaming about winning in my life and getting the dreams and everything that I want. And then I'm dreaming about helping you guys win. So my wife will tell you that if you want to bet on which guy in the room is going to cry next, I'm probably your guy. Don't get me wrong, man. I'll punch you right in the nose if you piss me off, or if like, I'm a man's man, but I'm also definitely got a sensitive, emotional side to me. So thanks for calling me out, babe. Love you. Well, folks, I never really got around to a market update. I never saw if the gentleman came back and said which carbon I was looking at in the chat here. So I'm going to go ahead and skip off of that for a minute. Let's pop back over to CoinGecko here real quick and give you guys a little bit of my thoughts on the current market. Sorry for the sniffles. Allergies are flaring up a little bit. I'm not sick or anything, but I definitely have a little bit of a sniffle today, so I apologize for that. So there we are back on the CoinGecko, Bitcoin 24,648. I love seeing it right in there. Now, and look at this, Ethereum up over $1,900. I mean, we're just seeing some fantastic stuff here. What do we have? Polkadot up almost 20% for the week. I love seeing that. We got Solana with a 15% pump over the last 7 days. Avalanche 28%. I mean, this is probably the best week in crypto that we have had in months and months and months and months and months. And so while it's exciting, folks, let me get over here and quit sharing my screen so you can see me in all my glory. What I would caution you guys is one of the great things about being part of this channel is you get all of my experience. Because I experienced 2018, 19, and 20, I don't get excited about a rally like this anymore. Well, I do get excited, but for different reasons. Back in 18 and 19, I was doing crypto with my dad a lot. So we were on the phone. We live in different states, and we were investing in crypto. He was, he's one of my best friends, and we were always getting excited because in 18, we just thought it was a little bit of a dump. Bitcoin went from 20 down to 16 or 15 to start with. We thought, okay, this is fantastic. We get a chance to buy some $15,000 Bitcoin. Then it went down to 12, and we're like, oh man, what an amazing deal. We get 5 Bitcoin at 12, plus all of the altcoins that we were scooping up. And long story short, I bought every single time it went down, thinking we were at the bottom. And then every time it started to go back up, me and my dad would be like, man, this is it. We're going to be rich. We're on our way. If I had $1 for every time we said we're on our way, I would be a millionaire way back in 18. So folks, once again, not financial advice. This is just my opinion, but having lived this before, Bitcoin does not just go down during the whole bear market. There's lots of relief rallies. If you go back and look at the previous to 2017, I want to say back in like 2000, we had 4-year cycles. So 2012, 2013, back then Bitcoin was at about 2,000 and it would run up to 3,000. Then it would go back to 2,000. Then it would run up to 3,000. They went back and forth many times. Well, from 2,000 to 3,000 is a 50% gain. And every time it would go up to 3,000, people got excited. Well, back in the 17, 18, 19 bull or bear market, Bitcoin would run down to 6, 7, 8,000. Then it would run back up to 12 or 13,000, back to 7 or 8,000, and so on and so forth. Right now, it feels like we're in this channel between about 20 and 30. And I expect it to be between 20 and 30 multiple times over the next 6 months, year or so. And then I am definitely in the camp that 17 was not the low. I think we are probably going to see some $10, $12, $14,000 Bitcoin at some point in time. Now, having said that, I'm still dollar cost averaging. I'm still buying tokens. I'm not telling anybody that you should wait for $10,000 Bitcoin before you put any money into the market, because that would just be dumb if we're wrong. And if the market, if the bottom is in, I'll be the happiest guy in the world. But I just am not going to get overly excited about it. In fact, what I'm doing is I've been honing my skills. I've been practicing shorting with 5x leverage. Nothing crazy. You know, I watched Ben on Around the Blockchain the other day, or not on Around the Blockchain, on his main live stream, say that, you know, he was doing some 5x leverage trades and it was like watching paint dry. Well, luckily for me, I've always been kind of a hodler. I've always just bought and held. I haven't been a big trader, but during this bear market, I decided to, you know, test my skills. Part of my 10K to 100K bankroll challenge, in order to make that happen, is to have to short the market a little bit, have to long the market a little bit. Once again, it's not financial advice. I'm not telling you guys that you should do it, but I'm excited about this relief rally, not because I'm excited about where the tokens are going. I'm excited because I'm going to short the crap out of the market. If Bitcoin does in fact run all the way up to 28 to 30,000, I am going to be ready to short it all the way back down to 20 grand. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news for those of you that are getting excited, that are thinking, here we go, 30,000's coming, and then we're going to be on our way back up to all-time highs. While that's a possibility, I don't personally believe that that's what's going to happen. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of holding strong, keeping an eye on everything, and I'm trying to ride this up. And I'm praying, just like the rest of you, that Bitcoin gets up to 30. But I'm not hoping that it gets to 30 because I think it's going to keep going. I want it to get to 30, and then I'm going to short Bitcoin. I'm going to short Polkadot. I'm going to short XRP. I'm going to short ADA. I'm going to short Chainlink. I'm going to short most of the tokens that I talk about, my top tokens. I'm going to send them over to a place that I trust to, you know, to hold some tokens and to do some shorting. And my goal, I'm not shorting the tokens to try to make money. I'm shorting the tokens to increase my stack. Like, to give you a for instance, about a week or so ago, I shorted XRP, took 4,000 XRP. I shorted it. I want to say that my average cost, or, you know, my average, you know, price that I got in at was around 37.56 cents, somewhere in there. It bounced back and forth a bunch over the next week. It wasn't a quick trade. It was just with 5x leverage, so it would have had to have gone all the way up to 47 cents before I was going to be liquidated. It ran all the way up as high as about 40 cents after I put this short in, but that didn't worry me. Long story short, I closed out that short a couple of days ago with like a 525 XRP profit. Not a huge win. I mean, what's 500 XRP at 30 cents a piece, 150 bucks. But 500 extra XRP, and I do that a few more times as the market goes up and down, and say I turn that 5,000, that 4 or 5,000, you know, XRP into 10, 15, 20,000 XRP as time goes by. When the next bull market hits, that's substantial. You know, I'd like to have about a 5 or 10,000 Polkadot portfolio. So one of the ways that I'm doing that is by going to short some Polkadot. When Bitcoin hits 30, and say, you know, Polkadot is back up at, you know, 10, 12, 14, $15, I'm looking forward to shorting some Polkadot on its way down. And the thing that I love about this, if you catch it right, if you catch it up at around $30,000 Bitcoin and you start shorting some of this stuff, and Bitcoin runs down to 24, 22, 20, you can leave those shorts open. You can pull your trailing stop loss down a little bit so that you don't have to worry about it running back up and you don't make any profit. But you have the real possibility of Bitcoin runs back down to 20 again, and it breaks below that $17,000 support. You could ride it all the way down to $10, $12, $14,000 Bitcoin. In my opinion, Polkadot was sitting, you know, at say $6-ish, $6, $7 when Bitcoin was at 17K. I believe that Polkadot will probably be a $2, $3, $1, somewhere in that range, $1 to $3 token at, you know, at 10, 12, $14,000 Bitcoin. If I'm shorting Polkadot all the way, say from 12 or 15, all the way down to $2 or $3 with 5x leverage, I'm going to make a lot of Polkadot. So once again, not financial advice. I don't recommend this, you know, strategy for most people. I definitely don't recommend it to you if you're newer to crypto. I also don't recommend, I'm not taking all of my portfolio and doing this. I'm only taking maybe a 10, 15, 20% chunk of my portfolio and doing this. The rest of it, I'm either just going to hold through the ups and downs, or there's a possibility that I might take some and put it into stable coins and then just buy some tokens at a lower price. But I'm never going to use leverage trading with a very high percentage of my total, net worth in crypto. What else do we got going on here? That's a little bit of a market update. If she starts crying, I'm going to cry. Oh boy. Could you do a video tutorial on how you use a swap DEX to buy altcoins not listed on a big exchange? Yeah, absolutely. I would be happy to do that, Vincent. No problem at all. What do we got here? At what point do you take profits from accounts like 30, 50, or really wait for huge all-time high rallies? That's a great question, Paul. And it really comes down to your timing and your risk tolerance. So for me, my goal is a $10 million plus portfolio by the end of the next bull run. Anything in between now and then doesn't really register on my radar. Whether if I was looking at a blockfolio that was 25,000 or if I was looking at a blockfolio that was 500,000, it really makes no difference because the end goal is 10 million. Now, if somebody is looking to take $10,000 and they would just like to run it up into 30 or 40 or $50,000 and they would be thrilled, they're going to have a little bit different strategy on when to take profits. It's tough to give advice on this subject. And part of the reason why, especially here in the United States, you get taxed on profitable trades. So let's say that you buy, $10,000 worth of crypto and now it runs up and it's worth 30,000 a couple of months later and you sell it. Technically, legally, you just had a $20,000 profit that you have to pay short-term capital gains taxes on, where if you hold a crypto for a year or longer and sell it, then you pay short-term or long-term capital gains, which is a much lower percentage. And then if you collateralize your crypto, like on a platform like Nexo, you're paying zero taxes because you took a loan, you didn't actually sell anything. So there's so many different strategies, but just to give you an idea, let's say that you buy at 10, you sell at 30, and now you've got that tax, benefit. Now you kind of wait for it to come down and you buy back in at 10, and then it goes up to 15 and you sell, you've increased, now you've got another $5,000 win. And, long story short, it's hard to keep track of. And then when it comes time to pay your taxes, a lot of your gains can kind of get eaten up. And then especially if, let's say you finally get that built up to, $100,000 portfolio, but you've made several different trades, you owe all this money in taxes, and now the Bitcoin in 2023, your $100,000 portfolio gets knocked down to, $25,000. Well, you would technically don't quote me on this. I'm not a tax advisor. I don't have a CPA license. But if you earned that money in 2022 and you had that profit in 2022, you're going to owe taxes on it in 2023. But now you've lost it all in 2023. You lost that $75,000. So you don't really have a $90,000 profit anymore. Now, yes, you can take that $75,000 loss in 2023 and you can, move it around and use it for your taxes in 2024. But my point is that's a really, that's such a tough question to answer. And once again, it really comes down to your goals and what your long-term plan is. In general, I like, especially on smaller cap gems, like say a Beam Swap, or with Beam Swap, I'm holding it for long term. But like last year, I did videos on tokens like Metis, Manifold, and several other small cap gems. And what I would normally do, a UFO, which I'm rebuying now, but UFO is another one. Normally what I do is when something say 3 to 5X's, I usually pull out my original investment and a little bit of profit. Then I might take a little bit of the profit and turn it into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's say I had a $1,000 bill. I turned it into 5,000. I would pull out my 1,000. I would maybe pull out another 500 to 1,000 in profit. And then I would take maybe say 500 and put it into Bitcoin, 500, put it into Ethereum, and then keep a couple $1,000s for like more of a long-term moon bag in that token. Now, on some of my portfolio, that's the top tier tokens like Polkadot and Matic, and those I'm just kind of riding out until the next real big bull run. I'm getting some good interest on Polkadot and Matic and Chainlink and those, so I'm holding them. I'm earning interest on them, and I'm holding those, for the long term. So I know that's not really an answer, but it gives you a little bit of food for thought. And one of the things that I do have available is some one-on-one coaching. If somebody's interested in maybe talking to me and seeing if I would be a good fit for some one-on-one coaching, feel free to DM me. We can see if that might be a good fit for you. And one-on-one, I can give a little bit better, more personalized advice on it. When I got a bunch of people watching something like this, I got to be a little bit more careful and kind of really give a little bit more of a general idea, not a one size fits all. I also moved to New York City recently and I'm blocked. Yeah, you are. Absolutely. New York City is not a crypto friendly state. That's for sure. Dude, I cry at everything finding. Yeah, man. If you don't cry during Finding Nemo, man, that's unacceptable. You can't be my friend. No, man, I'm just kidding. Of course, I don't care if you cry or not, but man, yeah, absolutely. What do we got going on here? Mobile Sage, one of the many reasons that I love him. Yeah, at least I found a woman that loves me for it, that isn't always disgusted at my displays of softness. What do we got here? Oh, she said it. Oh, she said it twice. Okay. True. What do we got here? Swapping to stable isn't considered selling. I meant just to stable. Actually, Paul, that's not true. So say you buy $10,000 in Bitcoin, it runs up to $50,000 and you swap it into USDC. That is still a taxable transaction. That is still considered a trade. Whether you turn the Bitcoin into USDC, whether you turn the Bitcoin into XRP, it doesn't matter what you swapped it into. The second that you turn the Bitcoin into something other than Bitcoin, that becomes a taxable transaction. Gotta sleep. We'll finish the video tomorrow. All right, guys. Hey, thank you all very much. I know that oh no, don't be sorry, man. That's why I'm here. That's why we do this. I didn't know that for a long time either. And like I said, and I had a mentor. My mentor, Jonathan Kelly, saved me from a ton of mistakes that I would have made, because I loved to buy and sell and to trade back and forth. And he taught me very quickly why that isn't always the best strategy. So folks, this has been almost an hour, been one of the funnest hours of my crypto YouTube career. I really enjoyed it all very much, man. I really love all of the new folks here. Thank you for supporting the channel, and make sure that you go get your comment made on yesterday's video so that you have an opportunity to win that $100 in Whitley tokens. So folks, with that, I am going to hop off of here. It's about 11 o'clock. I'm going to get ready to get some sleep and do it all over again. God bless. Love y'all, and we'll see you very soon. That reminds me, go watch Cowboys of Crypto tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll make sure to share the link in my socials too, and we're going to go enjoy watching those three guys eat crickets, and I'm just going to sit there smiling away. All right, guys, take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye for now.